The Equal Rights Amendment, how Phyllis Schlafly changed the minds of the public.
Is it equal?
Women should not be equal to men.
We assume really, that the battle for women's rights and women's equality in American history is being well recorded, documented.
Media was a way for Betty Friedan and Phyllis Schlafly to get their point across during that time. There are many other movements going on during that time to get the attention of the public on women's rights. Title IX was one of them. Title IX was a movement to help women remove sex discrimination on any school and educational property. In 1972, the use of television and newspapers had a significant impact on how the Equal Rights Amendment was communicated to the public. The ERA stated that there would be no legal distinction between men and women. While the ERA had many supporters, it also had many people who disagreed with the ERA to decide which perspective was correct. The Equal Rights Amendment was first introduced by Alice Paul in 1923 as a way to help women in their fight for equality. During the 1920s, women were trying to get the amendment ratified, but the movement mostly died down. The movement slowly continued until the end in 1972, when not all states had ratified the amendment, causing a halt on the future ratification. Phyllis Schlafly used her media to the advantage to convince the public that the Equal Rights Amendment was not doing what it conveyed. Instead, it would rob women of their rights, and as said by an editorial in 1923 from California.
How do you view the relationship of women and men? Is it equal?
Women should not be equal to men. I think under our present system in the United States, women enjoy a very wonderful status. I think it's better than equality. I think women would be sacrificing many of the good things they now have, and it would be taking a step downward to go for equality.
It's been charged from time to time.
As said in an interview with Bob Porter on October 3rd, 1972, through her many attempts at ending the ERA, she was able to convince large groups of women to fight for the amendment to not be passed, which was what she strongly and passionately believed in, even though that the amendment was not stating different things to what she was saying. The amendment stated that it would remove all legal distinction between men and women. Men and women would have equal rights through the United States. There were also other activists trying to prove Phyllis was wrong and why the ERA should be ratified. A very popular activist during that time was Betty Friedan. Betty Friedan was the opposite of Phyllis Schlafly. She wanted to show the public why the Equal Rights Amendment was a step in the right direction. Betty had used the media to show the public why it should be ratified and to prove Phyllis wrong. Women will continuously fight for the ratification of the Equal Rights Amendment, even after 1972, till the day she passed. Phyllis was still trying to prove to the nation why women should not be equal to men and why women are good with the rules that they have and how they do not need to be equal. She's referring to how women are continuously being treated as different and how it is okay. To this day, women are still fighting to be equal to men. Women and men to this day have a very noticeable difference between them. Women and men to this day have very large pay gaps and are treated significantly different. Women to this day are treated as different and are pushed down for doing the same thing as men. The Equal Rights Amendment allowed women to be equal to men, which is something that women and men are still fighting for to this day. When there are opposing sides to the ERA, women's rights are putting at risk. When Phyllis decided to influence the public to what she believed in, she had pushed back the ability for women to have better rights and lives.